Platform 17 for the 1832 South Central service to Bright, fast to East Croydon, then Red Hill, Gatwick Airport, Three Bridges, Aldcombe, Haywards Heath, Whipplesfield, Burgess Hill, Essex, Preston Park and Bright. Customers for London Road, Aldcombe, Falmer and Lewis, also Hove and stations to Worthing should change at Bright.
Folks, it's a busy day today. There's weirdly a lot to talk about for it being the middle of August. Thankfully, we have the Olympics, which has given us quite a bit to talk about. We do have a PowerPoint today. I think it's one of the more creative PowerPoints I've done. We had two very intense and exciting basketball semifinal games yesterday. We have the gold medal game tomorrow. Kevin Durant is yelling at people on Twitter. We're going to map out just exactly how LeBron James could win the American presidency. And we're going to go over. We're going to go over the Christmas Day schedule, which came out yesterday. Some surprising stuff on there. Of course, the Dallas Mavericks have made it. Of course, the Dallas Mavericks have made it, as we could expect. This is their 5th straight Christmas Day game. All this shit on my shirt. Their 5th straight Christmas Day game. Where should we start? Now, I want to do a quick little housekeeping thing. Obviously, I've been streaming the Team USA games on playback.tv/slightly biased. I'll be watching the gold medal match there tomorrow as well. There might even be a Dallas Cowboys rant on this stream. We'll see how much time we have. Quick little housekeeping thing, okay? The Slightly Biased Clips channel, which has not been active in quite some time, but when the season was going on and we were doing slightly early content, we were popping off there, and it actually, you know, whoops. It actually, the numbers really weren't that bad. So this is what I'm talking about. So I'm thinking about, I realize that sometimes these streams can be long. I realize that sometimes these streams we can ramble and there's maybe some parts that people don't care about. How would you guys feel if I clipped parts of this stream and uploaded them to this channel? That feels like something I should already be doing, right? Would that be something that interests any of you? It makes sense. You should already be doing that. Okay, that's what I thought. All right. So if you also post shorts, you know, when you're creative like me, and you think of the Francis Ford Coppola, think of Scorsese, you know, think of Christopher Nolan, think of any name, Picasso. I'm more thinking along the lines of full feature length film creators. Think more Shakespeare as well. 60 seconds just ain't doing it. It can't be contained. Do you pay your mods? No. That's not true. I've paid B-Dot before. So what this would mean, though, if I would try to make a concerted effort to do this, it means I have to be a little bit more concise in the streams, because I can ramble. It's my ADHD brain. I can ramble. I could spend too much time on a topic. I could say, hey, let's talk about this, and then not talk about it at all. I noticed I did that yesterday because I was watching back the playback stream, and there was something I wanted to talk about, and I mentioned it once and never talked about it again. Are you single? Why, are you interested? Oh. I'm not bullshitting when I say I have a full-fledged PowerPoint slide where I have mapped out an entire scenario where LeBron James could win the presidency. I'm excited to do that today. Where should we start? Tyler, you got to go on Player's Choice. They need you. They're so ass right now. Okay? I can't say I watch Player's Choice that much. I fucked with the Siley Clips YouTube page. Well, it's coming back, baby. 69 videos. That's sex. That's the sex number. What do you think of the NBA leaving Giannis and Shea out of Christmas Day? Should we just start there? Should we start? Let's start with the Christmas Day schedule. Then we'll get to the Olympics, any Olympics related thing. I need slightly on a full episode to pick a side. I would love to go on pick a side. I've been on Joel's show, of course. I'm mutual followers with all of the guys. I would love to go on that podcast. Christmas Day. Why am I even searching this? I retweeted it yesterday. So the Christmas Day schedule is out, and I have to be honest with you guys. There's some surprising stuff in here. What about going on ESPN replacing Stephen A. Smith? They called me. They did call me, and they offered me a contract, the likes of which you wouldn't believe, but it wasn't big enough. It was not big enough. You got to watch Spain versus France right now. Is it soccer? $33 in extra time? Okay. I'm sorry. I'm in the middle of a stream right now. Maybe I'll go back and rewatch it. So according to Shams Charania, I'll vet out this just to make sure that he's correct on this. I'll check with my sources, but the Christmas schedule has been released, always anticipated, and a nice little. It gives you a good feel of where teams are at around the league and how the league views certain teams and certain players. So it's always fun, right? There's always some teams that feel like they got snubbed. There's a few teams in mind when you look at this list here. And I think there's some pretty fun matchups. Now we're starting out the Knicks. This is like the Cowboys always getting the 3:00 slot on Thanksgiving Day. The Knicks getting the first game of Christmas Day at Madison Square Garden. Every single year it's going to happen. And, of course, especially now that the Knicks are actually a really good basketball team. Spurs at Knicks. So immediately, off the rip, this is very controversial. People can't believe the Spurs are in it. Obviously, the Spurs were a bad basketball team a season ago, but they have Victor Wembanyama. Victor Wembanyama getting a Christmas Day game, that felt obvious. That felt incredibly obvious, especially considering how well he played at the end of the season, and especially considering the old guard, they're getting old, okay? LeBron's got gray all in his beard. Steph is getting old. All of these guys are getting old, and the NBA is desperately looking for the next face of the league. Tatum feels like an obvious answer. He just doesn't have the aura. Dare I use that word? Anthony Edwards is a pretty good candidate for this. Luka, anytime I say this, Mavs fans are Luka. Luka's not going to be the face of the league. Okay, he's just not. I love him to death. He's my favorite player. You guys know this. Luka's not going to be the face of the NBA. Okay? Grown man talking about aura. I know. Wemby is going to be pushed as the face of the league. So they're giving him the first game on Christmas Day in Madison Square Garden against the Knicks. I get it. I understand where they're coming from. Now, is it a great basketball matchup? No, the Knicks should be favored by probably like 11 points in that game. But it does make sense. Wemby has been objectively pooping his pants All Olympics, but the glazing is insane. His shot's not falling. He's not afraid to shoot the 3-ball. I'll give him that. But his defense has still been good, and he's 20 years old? Like he's the second-year player. So I understand. I understand the expectations for him are very high. And look, I've said the same. He's got a GOAT chance here to somehow miraculously pull a gold medal out of his ass against Team USA. I don't think it's going to happen. But Wemby was incredible at the end of the season. Wemby was absolutely incredible over the final 20 to 30 games of the season. And it makes sense. They're pushing him, okay? Get used to it. This will probably be a continuous thing for the San Antonio Spurs as long as Victor Wembanyama is on the roster. Expect a lot of Spurs games. So we're starting out here. Then we go Timberwolves at Mavericks. This was rumored for a couple of weeks now that this would be the Christmas Day matchup. I personally think Thunder at Mavericks would have been a little bit more interesting to me, especially from a Mavs fan's perspective on things, okay? That was a more competitive series, I thought. There's more seeds planted for that to be an interesting rivalry over the years. There's obviously the closeness geographically. And OKC, I think, is good enough to have deserved a Christmas Day game, especially with a guy who finished runner-up in MVP voting, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I think that's actually something I've forgotten over time, that Luka was third in MVP voting. I don't know why I was kind of operating under the assumption for a while now that Luka was second in MVP voting, but he was actually third. But you get a Western Conference Finals rematch. They like doing playoff rematches on Christmas. You know, I'm thinking of, what was that, 2021, 2022 Christmas Day when the Mavs played the Clippers and the Mavs won by 50 points. You guys remember that? That was insane. Timberwolves at Mavericks. I like it. I see, you know, Luka has been in 5 straight Christmas Day games, so he is a draw. They want him on Christmas Day. They usually put the Mavericks in early time slots. That wasn't the case last year. Obviously, they played in Phoenix the last game of the night, but I think it's kind of a European thing. Do you think if MVP was voted on after the playoffs, Luka would have won? Maybe. Maybe. The thing is like, while I think Luka was good in the playoffs. He was obviously dealing with a knee injury. I thought that series against Minnesota was insane. But it wasn't like the Luka we grew accustomed to in the playoffs. But this is the fun matchup. Anthony Edwards, obviously a huge draw. Similar to the Wemby thing. Like, they're looking for the future face of the league. Anthony Edwards, definitely a pretty big candidate for that. Luka's obviously a draw. And it's a fun little matchup. In Dallas. Should be fun, man. So these offense and defense 50-50. In basketball, no, absolutely not. Then we have the 76ers at Celtics. Fun matchup. No problem with this matchup at all. You know, historic rivalry there in Boston. They just won the NBA Finals. Them hosting a Christmas Day game, of course. 76ers reloaded. Should be a lot of fun. Lakers at Warriors. All right, so basketball-wise, this is the game that sticks out like a sore fucking thumb. Both of these teams, on paper at least, entering the season, look to be way past their primes. Both these teams look to be middling play-in teams, maybe 5 or 6 seeds at best. But it's LeBron James versus Steph Curry. Like, Lakers versus Warriors is Celtics Shaq versus Raptors Hakeem. Yeah, but it's LeBron James versus Steph Curry. The league doesn't know how much longer they can milk this one. So we're milking it. Vegas has both teams favored to not make the playoffs. Okay, well, there you go. But they're milking this one. I know from a basketball standpoint, the Bucks aren't in here. The Thunder, obviously, much rather have the Thunder than either of these two teams. I'd rather have the Magic over these two teams. I'd rather have the Grizzlies over these two teams. But, of course, they're not going to do that. LeBron versus Steph. How many times have they played Christmas? I mean, you had that classic one. What year was that? The Cavs and Warriors. Back when they actually had cool Christmas jerseys. Was that what, 2018? I know that like the current iteration of both these teams, this just doesn't seem like a very fun matchup, but obviously, was it 2016? This was obviously always going to be a game, I thought. Or both these teams being involved. Has LeBron ever not been in a Christmas Day game? I'm trying to think now. I know the Mavs played. Who'd the Lakers play last year? Mavs played the Lakers 2 years ago on Christmas Day. Should be Thunder, Mavs, Lakers, Suns, Denver, Minnesota, Celtics. Then to close out Christmas night, it was the Nugget. It is the Nuggets at Phoenix, which I do agree. Nuggets, Minnesota is fun. Like if we're doing playoff rematches as kind of a part of the draw, Timberwolves, Nuggets is fun. And Mavericks, Thunder, I think is fun. The Thunder are the biggest snub here. They were the 1 seed in the West last year. They got better. They have a star in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Just not a draw, I guess. Just not a draw. Nuggets Sun is a fun throwback. Yeah, and the Suns with Kevin Durant and stuff, they want them in there. They're a nice little West Coast team to have put in the last time slot. OKC is not marketable. Yeah, and I guess that's really what it kind of boils down to. All of these picks make sense when you kind of look at it through that lens. Jokic just won an MVP. He's got to be there. Kevin Durant is still a huge draw. And there is some, history between the Nuggets and the Suns. Can you build your ideal Christmas schedule? All right, so if we just accept the Knicks are going to get the opening game no matter what, that's just what we're accepting. Okay, cool. I'm in on that. I think it makes sense. Madison Square Garden, even if the Knicks aren't good, which they will be good, it's always popping. Orlando versus Knicks. That's pretty good. Now, I kind of like the idea of conference rivalries. It makes the games feel like they have a little bit more stakes. Knicks Pacers, you could go a rematch of that playoff series for sure. I was about to say Celtics at Knicks is fun because that could actually be an Eastern Conference Finals preview. But I'll just say that the Celtics deserve a home game on Christmas Day, so we'll give them that. Grizzlies Knicks, that could have been fun as well. Now, if I'm just going from a pure basketball perspective, basketball fan, I actually don't mind this Spurs at Knicks game. I think it'd be fun to see Wemby on Christmas Day in Madison Square Garden. I actually think this is a pretty good pick. To be completely and totally honest with you, I'm okay with leaving this one as is. Timberwolves at Mavericks. I'm pulling this game. I'm keeping it in Dallas, and I'm going OKC. I'm going OKC at Mavs. You get OKC on Christmas Day. You get a rematch from the playoffs last year. You get what could very well be a Western Conference Finals preview. '76ers at Celtics. Now, just from my hating brain, I'm pulling the Sixers. I'm getting them out. We'll keep this game in Boston. And I was just thinking, maybe you could do, if you don't do OKC at Mavericks, maybe you could do OKC at Celtics. The two favorites in their respective conferences. That would be fun, huh? Actually, let's do that. Let's do that. So let's go Spurs at Knicks. Then who would the Mavericks matchup be? It sucks that the Suns Mavericks rivalry is pretty much dead because I feel like you could milk that forever. I feel like you could milk that for eternity. Kings? Oh, who wants to watch the fucking Kings? And God bless the Kings. God bless them. Who wants to watch the Kings? Did we forget we wanted Mavs and Warriors? The Mavs-Warriors matchup on Christmas Day is only really interesting to me if it's in Golden State and you could do the whole Clay, and it's Clay's first game back. But you can't do that. The Mavericks deserve a home game. Love you too, Dustificator. 76ers Clippers? Hell no. Hell no. I kind of like Denver versus Dallas. All right, so we'll go Spurs Knicks. I like that game. I actually do. Give the Knicks their home game and give Wemby first game of Christmas Day. I feel like that's usually the most popular one. That's Mavs at Jazz. That was an interesting time. That was peak COVID too. Who even played in that game? I had COVID in that game and slept through the entirety of it. So we'll go Spurs at Knicks. We'll go Nuggets at Mavericks. I like that. Then let's go Thunder at Celtics. I like that. Lakers at Warriors, I'm taking off the table entirely. Now we're just going pure basketball. I'm taking it off the table. I don't care to see either of these teams. Who are we slotting in? I want to give the upstart Magic a game. I want to get them in there. Could we do Bucks at Orlando? There was some interesting stuff between those two teams last year. Mavs versus Celtics. Well, I'm operating from the standpoint the Mavericks and Celtics both deserve a home playoff game, a home Christmas game. Not near enough history there. Okay. I think Grizzlies Magic. That's fun, actually. Bucks in Indiana. Okay, Bucks in Indiana. Well, there was some like end of season. Remember, there was some end of season last year. Like Orlando, if they win a couple games, they could overtake the Bucks. Grizzlies Magic is actually kind of fun. Grizzlies Magic. Grizzlies. It's a risk. It's a risk putting the Grizzlies in there because what if they're trash? Like what if they come back? Edie's not good. They have no center. Jaren Jackson Jr. is averaging 6 rebounds a game, and they're just not that good. No one's watching Grizzly Magic at Christmas. Yeah, I know. We're taking ratings out of the equation. We're just going strictly basketball. Otherwise, we'd keep the Lakers and Warriors in. They're going to be the biggest. That's going to be the highest rated game of the day. Okay. Pelicans. Okay, no. I don't want Pelicans. I don't want the Pelicans. Magic Denver. No. KCP revenge game doesn't have enough oomph. Doesn't have enough oomph. Grizzlies Wolves. Heat Bucks. I'm out on the Heat. I don't know what the fuck they're going to look like. I'm trying to think about either teams that I know will be fun and entertaining to watch, and if the Spurs, for example, with Wemby, or good. Wolves Bucks. So this slot right here is the slot that we're considering, because I'm telling you right now, we're going Timberwolves Suns for the final game. We're closing it out. Timberwolves Suns playoff rematch. We're locked and loaded there. I think that's a fun one. We're trying to figure out who we slot in right here, and I want it to be an Eastern Conference team. I think the Suns, the more I think about the Suns, I think they're going to be pretty damn good this upcoming season. And I'm in on Minnesota versus Phoenix being a matchup. Cleveland. How about we just, you know what? I'm sorry, Orlando. I'm sorry. Why don't we just do Milwaukee and Indiana? It's fun. It's like out of all of these matchups, it would be like the most actual real rivalry. They don't like each other. It's fun. And yeah, let's put it in Indiana. That crowd would be fucking crazy. That's what we're doing. So the slightly biased Christmas Day schedule, We're going Spurs at Knicks. We're keeping it. I kind of like it the more I thought about it. We're going Nuggets at Mavericks. Then we're going Thunder at 76ers. Then we're going Bucks at Indiana. Timberwolves at Suns. Wow. I mean, I don't. Silver, I'm available, man. I really am. I know I make jokes and stuff. I'm available. I did. I said Thunder Celtics. Spurs Knicks. Spurs Knicks. Nuggets Mavericks. Thunder Celtics. Bucks Pacers. Timberwolves Suns. Oh, did I say 76ers? All right, 76ers are out in this scenario. Sorry. That's just the hater in me. Lakers Warriors out. Let's get serious. The Nuggets are boring and ass. No one's trying to watch them. They're not boring. It would be Jokic versus Luka. Like, that's fun. That is fun. And two, like, potential Western Conference Finals matchup or Western Conference playoff matchup. What would be a fun opening day matchup? Opening day is always weird to me. Blazers versus Hornets? That would be funny if they said, one Christmas Day game is going to be two tanking teams. The world must see what's going on. Mavs OKC day one. Mavs Warriors opening day is fun. The Mavs have to play at home. This is how this shit works, guys. The Mavs made the NBA Finals. They're playing at home on opening night. Unless they decide to do a Finals rematch on opening night. But the Mavs will play at home opening night. Mavs Rockets at home? That's kind of interesting. Spurs at Mavs is kind of fun. Thunder at Mavs is interesting. Like, I'm telling you right now, the Mavs might be on one of those opening night games on TNT. I could see Lakers. Lakers at Mavs. They could fire from the hip immediately. We want Memphis opening night. Let's not forget the John Morant love and hype, which is well deserved. He's an incredibly fun player to watch. Let's not forget how much he was being pushed before the unfortunate series of events occurred. Do you care we play on Christmas consistently? Yeah, it's fun. I mean, this is like it's a nice little fire from the hip. It's a nice little indicator of like where the league thinks teams are. So the Mavs being on here the last 5 Christmas days is interesting. Absolutely, Christmas ball is a privilege. Absolutely, they're not just throwing random teams on Christmas Day. Lakers at Celtics. Oh, that's fun. That would be hilarious. I agree. They need to go back. I don't understand why they went away from cool Christmas Day jerseys. Like, people bought them. They were fun. Everyone's kind of in agreement that they were cool. Are we going to get Aura Wars between John and Ant fan clubs? Yes. Don't forget Shea either. It's going to be nasty. If you guys haven't liked the stream yet, make sure you do so. It helps you out tremendously. Let's YouTube know having a great time, of which we are. 171 of you in here, 31 likes. Let's get that up, folks. Let's get that up. Let's talk about the Olympics. I did not think we'd spend 30 minutes talking about the Christmas Day schedule, but alas, let's talk about the Olympic Games. Wow, what a pair of games yesterday, huh? What a pair of games. Germany, I thought that France had just an insane whistle yesterday. But with that being said, Germany did kind of shit all over their pants, okay? We'll talk about the games real quick, and then we'll get into Kevin Durant popping off on Twitter. Why haven't you and Nick talked about superstar Alex Fudge getting waived? Sad day. Sad day. So France, Germany. Incredible game. Incredibly fun atmosphere. Thought that Franz Wagner was having a fucking moment early in this game. And then Germany scores 8 points in the second quarter. And France's defense, man, like Germany couldn't even dribble to the free throw line. Like it was just smothering. A lot of that had to do with Victor Wembanyama's presence. All right, people aren't going to give him a lot of credit because he was not good offensively in this game, at least shooting wise. But his defense was really good. Yabusele, this fucking guy, 17 points. Cornier. I mean, what the hell's gotten into this guy? He's been going crazy in this tournament. Lesor had another great game. Wemby went 4 of 17, 1 of 8 from 3. Not what you want to see. Why do you love Franz Wagner? He's so cheeks. He's not cheeks, man. He's not cheeks. 10 points. Did not score at all after the first quarter. I mean, he did, but barely any. Did hit a massive, massive 3 at the end. But a pretty disappointing game for my guy Franz. And I'm a fanatic. You guys know that. His defense was incredible in this game. Again, nobody cares. Nobody's going to give you credit defensively if you're not being good offensively. But there was a chance for him to seize the moment, and he didn't really do that. Schroeder didn't have that great of a game either. And credit to the France defense. They were really, really good. They were good. It's been a pretty insane past couple games for France considering where they were like a week ago, and it felt like France was just dead in the water. Like they were going to have an embarrassing lead up. The Nick Batum block on Dennis, yes. Batum had a great game defensively in this one too. Nicholas Batum still getting it done. Hey, how about Frank had some huge moments in this game. Frank Ntilikina, no bullshit, had some legitimately big moments in this game. Yabusele's nice. He doesn't look 6'8" until he goes to dunk. Then he looks big. Yeah, he's just strong as fuck. Slightly, they changed their offense from Wemby to letting the EuroLeague players do their thing. That's why they worked. Yeah, I mean, also just a lot of I think playing in France has helped out a lot of these guys. And Germany, they're good. They're a really good basketball team. Germany, Serbia is going to be a really fun bronze game. Obviously, I bet Germany's a little bit disappointed. They were the World Cup champions a year ago. I'm sure they had their sights higher than a bronze, but alas, France, despite the odds, is moving on to the gold medal game against Team USA. And let's talk about this game. Wow. This was, after a night's sleep and just seeing the pictures and the images and some of the highlights from this game, this was really an all-time classic moment. Like, honest to God, this was an all-time basketball moment. And we can say, oh, it's a little embarrassing that it required all of that to beat Serbia. Serbia played out of their fucking mind. Serbia played an incredible basketball game. To start, they could not miss from 3. They ended the game 38% from 3, but they were about 50% from 3 in the first half, just bombing away. And a lot of that was some questionable defense from Team USA. Anytime early in the game, and Embiid, we'll talk about him in a second, but early in the game, Serbia was just hunting Embiid on ball screens, and his defense on ball screens was atrocious, and it was leading to threes. Some weird, questionable gambles from Team USA defensively, going to double, helping too much in the gaps, leading to open threes. Just some questionable stuff. And it looked done. Like Team USA got it to 6 in the third quarter. It was, what, a 15, 16-point game? 15, 16-point game entering halftime. Team USA got it to 6 with 2-3 minutes left in the third quarter, and it felt like, here we go. Team USA, they're going to knock down a couple more threes, and there's going to be a snowball effect, and Team USA is going to go on a massive run and win this game by 20 points. Like, that's what it felt like. But then Serbia responded and ballooned that lead back up to, was it 16 going into the fourth? 13-point lead going into the fourth quarter. And it was like, holy shit, here we go. This might happen. This might happen. And I mean, honest to God, what a legendary basketball moment. That it was LeBron, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant. LeBron, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant, who pushed Team USA past the finish line together. Honestly, an insane moment. And they're not in that predicament at all. Like, Team USA is not in position to come back in this game if it were not for Joel Embiid, who had an incredible game. We've heard people talk about it, and they might be right. It honest to God, might have been the biggest basketball performance of his life in this game. 19 points, 8 of 11, 2 of 3 from 3. Played incredible defense and just kind of dominated Jokic. Just kind of dominated him. Devin Booker only had 6 points, but I thought he was really good defensively. And on top of that, had that huge play, or was part of that huge 6-point possession for Team USA where Jokic ran through an AD screen. Was there a flop there? I don't know. But that was Jokic's fourth foul. KD hits a 3. Team USA keeps the ball. Then Devin Booker hits a 3. So it's a 6-point trip down the floor. And that was really the beginning of the end for Serbia. The defensive pressure from Team USA, all 5 guys on the court to close out the game, was incredible. I mean, ball pressure up to the half-court line from Booker, from Steph, from LeBron, who switched on to Jokic. Embiid was hype and feeling it. All right. Are you guys getting bombarded with ads? I'm like getting a pop-up here that there's ads running every minute. Delay ads. LeBron's drives. LeBron had a triple-double. It doesn't make sense, guys. It doesn't make... We're going to talk about LeBron here in a bit. Trust me. We're going to talk about LeBron here in a second. Just very fun to watch Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, LeBron James have that moment together. LeBron being almost 40 years old, still doing this shit is insane. Steph Curry, I mean, how many points? 36 points for Steph Curry. Popping off in the first half when nothing really was going right for Team USA. And if it wasn't for Steph going nuclear early on, I don't even know if Team USA is in a position to come back at all in that game. Slightly, I know you pool because we look kind of similar and I pool. Okay. I don't know why I just read that one out loud. I don't know why out of all of the chats, that was the one I just went to. I mean, look at these pictures. Legendary. LeBron with the gray in his beard. LeBron and Steph almost smooching. We almost got our LeBron. If you guys are on NBA Twitter at all, I'm sure you've seen the AI picture of Steph and LeBron making out. We almost got it, man. So much chemistry and tension right here. The real life pictures are so insane that it almost does look like it's AI. It almost does look like it's AI. You think they're secret lovers? Maybe in another life. Maybe in another life they are. This is just like a crazy picture. I mean, it was just an insane game, an insane moment. Kevin Durant who was really bad early in this game. Just couldn't find his footing, it felt like. That huge bucket down the stretch, 20 feet away from the basket, pull up, get the fuck out of my way. Incredible. I am brave for scrolling Twitter raw like that. Now, of course, Kevin Durant cannot complete a huge performance with some huge shots without going on Twitter to talk shit to regular human beings. This is why Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant. This is why Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant. Yes, there was the random assortment on the sideline. Well, Dirk was there because Dirk is an Olympic legend himself, but also Germany played earlier in the day. Melo is an Olympic legend, obviously. Was the Team USA leader in points before Kevin Durant. Jimmy Butler was there, I think, as well. This is what makes Kevin Durant Kevin Durant. It's not enough that they're headed to the gold medal game, which, by the way, I want to say right now, I think Team USA beats France by 30. Like, that's where I'm at. I know I said the same thing about Serbia, but Serbia played out of their mind. I don't even think Jokic was that good. I almost said Sabonis. I don't even think Jokic was that good in this game. And the reason why I said Sabonis was it was like a Sabonis-esque performance from Jokic. Dare I say it. Bogdan was incredible. And I don't know if France is going to get the guard play. It's going to have to be a Victor Wembanyama, what the fuck just happened? This guy is going to be the greatest player of all time moment. Will's upset 9 hours ago. All right, the post has been deleted. Does anyone remember what this said? Come on, man. You can't delete if you're going to get ratioed, you can't delete it. It looks more embarrassing. This basically started when, this wasn't a quote tweet. He replied to Swipe a Cam. Swipe a Cam tweeted, Serbia just took the most talented team in the history of the planet to the wire with a medal on the line. Team USA was a 16-point favorite. The whole country should be proud. Now, if you don't know who Swipe a Cam is, just a little background. He's a Denver Nuggets guy. He's a Jokic guy. So I don't think there's really anything weird about this whatsoever. This is a completely and totally normal tweet, in my opinion. Now, as you can see, I don't follow Swipe a Cam. I used to. I did have to hit the unfollow button at times during the playoffs. It was getting a little outlandish towards Luka. Now, that's just how I am. I'll follow him now. I've got no. I don't know if he was like hardcore rooting for Serbia or not during the Olympics. Well, I have an opinion on that. I'll save for later. Katie replies, "Where you from?" 92,000 likes. Damn. And that led to just a shitstorm. Mike Smith tweeted, cheering against Team USA, you mean like all of those Americans who are making fun of Noah Lyles not winning gold in his latest race? Good old double standards. Just admit you hate the fact that Jokic is clearly the best player in the world. Kevin Durant replied, to all you Nuggets fans, nobody gives a fuck who y'all lames believe is the best player in the league. Players got major respect for Jokic. We don't worship him like y'all do, but most are in awe of his brilliance. Trolling you cornballs for rooting against us is a part of the game. Deal with it. Josh Barnett said, learned a lot about U.S. sports culture today. A lot of flexing for only just beating a nation of 6.6 million in a sport they invented. Acting like Jokic fans are committing treason. We here would never do this to a small Pacifica nation in rugby league. We embrace the competition. All right, Josh, I think this is a little bit of a cornball quote, I will say. Let's talk about the fan culture that's been created recently. A lot of huge egos who believe they are the reason for the advancement of a sport. A lot of idol worship. A lot of hate and division based off wins and losses. A lot of disrespect of the work being put in by these incredible athletes, mostly by people who don't know what it takes to be good at anything besides talking. Go do something and get out the way. So let's talk about this tweet. I agree. Not really, actually. I don't believe this type of fan culture has been created recently. There's actually really interesting forum posts from the very early internet days that you could find where it's like Michael Jordan haters in forum posts shitting on Michael Jordan in the 90s. So this is something that's been around for quite some time, trolling, especially in a sport like basketball, where I think it's just much different. I don't think you can compare basketball to other sports because it's so, especially team sports, because it's so individualistic. Like, the best player on the team is the huge driving factor of the team. So it's just a different way to look at it. Like you're going to go as far as your best player allows you to go. Okay? It's a much more individual-based sport than it is a team sport, although it is the ultimate team sport in a lot of ways. But you have to have one of the best players. You have to have a superstar. So it becomes a sport where the superstars are worshipped in a way. And it's interesting KD saying this because KD himself has a huge band of followers who will follow him wherever he goes, who will support him, who will, root for him and him only, and really kind of root for him over the success of his own teams at times. We see this all the time. But yes, the sports hate, I do agree with him that the sports hate can go way too far at times, which is why I always say I don't hate guys. I can sports hate some guys. I don't hate guys. But it does go way too far. I'm even thinking from a Mavericks perspective, the way people talk about Dwight Powell, who's on the fucking team, Maxi Kleba at times, Tim Hardaway Jr. before he left, just goes way beyond what I think is like even acceptable in terms of just talking about sports and athletes. It just goes way beyond it. Way beyond it. So first he says trolling is part of the game, but then he says trolling other players and worshiping your favorite players disrespect. Oh yeah, he's contradicting himself like a motherfucker all throughout this thread. He just is. I'm pretty sure what you just said, what you just described is just ... sports. Competition creates division. Fans do make the league how big it is. If no one was watching, no one would know who any of these players are, and y'all wouldn't be paid shit. Don't act like this now, talking because you beat Serbia. So I'm just disagree with anyone who talks like anyone who's like Team USA shouldn't celebrate because they just beat Serbia. Like that's lame as fuck. You're a loser if you actually think that. Who has probably never played sports or any competitive competition at any level. Not just college, not just professional, not like genuinely at any level. Who cares how good who cares how big of favorites you are? You just won a game where you're trailing big time, huge high stakes game. Hardaway has salt water in his brain, though. I've genuinely never heard that. That is an interesting insult. I have never heard that. Salt water in his brain. Okay. Slightly be honest, if Dirk or Luka in that game, are you rooting for America? Let me get to that. Let's finish this. Wes, and I was looking at this dude's Twitter earlier. He's like, there's hours later, there are KD stands that are just shitting on him in the replies to anything. So it is kind of funny, the irony here. This exact thing he's talking about has existed since the inception of the NBA. You think people weren't worshiping MJ or Bird and being divisive then? I hate to be that guy, but it only seems like a problem now. Guys like Giannis and Jokic are getting the same treatment. To which KD said, that's what y'all do. Y'all clowns. Use players to push these corny agendas y'all got. Now, I will say, he's partially right there. This is a brotherhood, fam, you not a part of. It's a problem now because social media got you clowns walking around with your chest out like you mean something. You don't. Your takes don't matter. And that's it for Kevin Durant. So what's important to note here, Kevin Durant is a poster. He's online all the fucking time. This was like 4 a.m. Paris time that he was tweeting all this. He's a poster, okay? You have to look. You can't look at Kevin Durant when he's on Twitter through the lens of superstar, multi-millionaire, NBA athlete, one of the best to ever do it. You have to look at him through the lens of a poster, guys. He's a shit poster. He's a shit talker. Okay? Once you realize that, it all makes sense. You get a little less offended by stuff he's saying. Now, of course, I will say, anytime the players are like, fans, you guys don't matter. We don't care what you say. Okay. I'll always push back against that. Like, come on, bro. I don't like when players go at fans, especially when they're not. There's definitely a time and a place when fans are way, way, way too much. But anytime players are like, fans, we don't care. It's like, dude, come on. We're just talking basketball here. And I will say, KD is coming off a little aggressive here. Nobody's saying anything that's like life-changing or world-altering. We're talking about basketball. And there's just like you're a clown. You don't matter. You're a loser. It's like, all right, bro. Chill out a tiny bit. We're talking about fucking basketball here. I agree. He is a bad shit poster, but he is a shit poster nonetheless. Katie on some Paris rooftop beneath the stars typing on his phone. You have to respect it, though. You have to respect it. People's takes are what keep people watching. I mean, I do. You guys know how I feel. The take culture surrounding basketball specifically has gotten so terrible that I, honest to God, think the league needs to step in to change the way networks talk about the sport. Genuinely. It's that bad. And there's definitely people to be mad at. Random fans on Twitter are not the people. So let's reverse back to what started all of this. Swipe a cam supporting Serbia in the Olympics. I've seen a lot of discussion and debate over this, about whether this is lame, whether this is weird. I've seen a lot of people say, this is weird. This is weird. This is weird. This is weird. Rooting against Team USA is weird. Rooting for Serbia is weird. I'm here to say right now, there's nothing fucking weird about it whatsoever. You're weird if you think it's weird. Saying it right now. You're weird if you think it's weird. Who gives a shit? Who cares at all? Swipe a Cam is a Denver guy. He is a Denver Nuggets fan. Therefore, he is a Nikola Jokic fan. Okay? Pulling for your guy to win is completely and totally normal. There's nothing weird about it at all. Guess what? If Slovenia was in this tournament and they were playing against Team USA, I would be rooting for Slovenia, and I would be rooting for Luka Doncic. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? Yeah, we're not rooting for Team USA. Why? I'm just looking at it through the lens of a Denver Nuggets fan. Why would I root for? I don't care. There's no Denver Nuggets on Team USA. There's active rivals that in my league. There's active rivals in my league that are on Team USA that I don't like watching or rooting for. My favorite player, who I've watched since his rookie year, I've watched him grow up. I've watched him turn into this MVP, turn into this, top 20 greatest player of all time, into this champion who took my team and took them to the finals and won it, an incredible moment. I'm rooting for him. Why is that weird? Why? That's not weird at all. Especially in basketball, where Team USA has won gold how many fucking times? Like, Team USA always wins. They're always massive favorites. They're favorited by like 20 points in every single game they play. There's not the same effect. I talked about this before. Team USA basketball doesn't do much for me. I'll root for them. I watch them. I root for basketball. Anytime they play, I just pray we get a good game. Why? You saw it yesterday. Didn't really care who wins. I pray that we get a good game because what we saw yesterday, how incredible it is. All of this talent that Team USA has, where they have to band together and pull a game out the mud, it's incredible to watch. It's phenomenal. It's great basketball. It's absolutely great basketball. There's no, I so many responses to this that it's weird to root against Team USA and root for another team. Why? Who fucking cares? Who cares? Who cares? And the irony is not lost on me that it's NBA Twitter who's doing a bunch of this shit after the whole Noah Lyles thing. That's true. The most American thing ever is just being like, I'll root for whoever the fuck I want to root for. It would be weird if the competition was even, but it's not. So I've said this before. Basketball, I don't really care what Team USA does. It does not affect me in the slightest. I don't care if they lose. I don't care if they win. It does nothing for me. I've seen them win a million times. It's never really been close outside of one time. The internet, everything in between the Olympics is a different story entirely because it's usually a shit show for Team USA. Other events, though, yeah, I'm rooting for Team USA because it's fun, right? oh, this swimming event, this Canadian's really good, but this Team USA girl, she can do it. She's got to do this. I'm like, all right, let's fucking go. Let's lock in. Team USA, let's do it. Let's win. Sprinting, Noah Lyles, let's go. Let's do it. The first American to win the double since whenever, let's do it. Let's win. Team USA basketball, yeah. And then on top of that, when we're talking about just the Olympics, there are several team sports in the Olympics, obviously. Basketball is the biggest, I would say. Obviously, football, but football is under 23, so it's a different thing entirely. Rugby is sevens, different thing entirely. Basketball is sitting the best of the best. And especially in the United States, basketball is the biggest team sport in the Olympics by far. Like in terms of what league is the biggest in the United States, it's the NBA. So most people invested in the Olympics and Olympic basketball, especially those who are invested enough to be on Twitter and have Twitter accounts that are just dedicated to basketball. They have their teams, they have their players they root for in the NBA. It is just you see these guys 82 times a year. So now I'm gonna root against Jokic. It's like if Slovenia was in it, what? Now I'm gonna root against Luka. To be honest, you literally just said watching KD Bron Steph was historic. I know that's why I'm saying when Team USA is playing, I'm rooting for good basketball in a close basketball game because it allows for historic moments like that. I'm not just like rooting for Team USA to win by 40 points. That's fucking boring. It's boring. Basketball doesn't hit the same because we see 9 months of basketball annually. We never see other sports for the most part, in my opinion. I think basketball at the Olympics is awesome. And I loved it a few years ago when Slovenia was in it and they made like a legit medal push. I was rooting very hard for Luka. I was rooting way harder for Luka in Slovenia. I was rooting way harder for Luka in Slovenia than I was Team USA. And there's nothing weird with that. There's nothing weird about it. It's like saying you can't support a team from a city that isn't yours. It's very similar to that. It's actually almost a direct comparison to that, honestly. Especially, here's the reality. People don't understand this, and I don't want to be this guy, but Americans who don't fully travel really don't understand this. The cultural differences from state to state in the United States is kind of insane. It's not the same as traveling internationally at all. I see like Americans on Twitter say this all the time. Like where it's like, oh, you don't need to travel internationally because traveling state to state is almost like traveling internationally. It's not to that extent, but there are very big cultural differences. So people are more tied to where they're from regionally than they are the United States as a whole. So I'm much more tied to the Dallas area than I am the United States as a whole. And so because of that, all right, let's just, again, hypothetical scenario because Slovenia was absolute shit and didn't qualify for the tournament. But hypothetical scenario, Slovenia is in the United States, or Slovenia is in the Olympics. They're taking on the United States. I'm rooting for Luka Doncic. He's the best player on my favorite team. Therefore, he's my favorite player. I'm rooting for him. I don't care. It's not weird. Like, why? Why do I have to root for Team USA in this scenario? Why exactly am I forced to root for Team USA? Because Katie said so? I don't even know if Team USA is in a position to come back at all in that game. Slightly, I know you pool because we look kind of similar and I pool. Okay, I don't know why I just read that one out loud. Anyways, Katie was popping off on Twitter. I very much disagree with this idea that if you're American, you have to root for Team USA, and it's weird not to. No, it's not. It's completely normal. It's actually very understandable. It's very understandable. I saw comments on Reddit that were like, it was Sixers fans, of course, throwing this complete hypothetical out there because Embiid obviously chose Team USA. If Embiid was on France and they played each other, I would be rooting for guys to windmill dunk over Embiid. I'm like, actually, you know what? That's weird. I actually think that's weird. You say rooting for Team USA, not rooting for Team USA. What you just described, I think, is weird. What you just described is strange to me. You're actively rooting for your favorite player to get dunked on? No, you're not. You're fucking lying. You're a liar now. If France wins gold, is Wemby already the GOAT? So let's stay here. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm rooting for that scenario. Like I am. I think it'd be the cool. I'm just talking from a pure basketball. Like I'm not approaching this from any other angle. Despite basketball, that would be the coolest scenario. I'm not rooting for it in the sense that I'm going to be like, no, France lost. I'm never going to recover. Like, I don't care. But it would be pretty cool. You're approaching this as a Wemby Glazer? Am I a Wemby Glazer? Let's settle that right now. Am I a Wemby Glazer? I've been accused of being a Wemby Glazer recently. I'm open for it. Honestly, I agree with a lot of what Katie said. No, I mean, he's right about other things here. He's right that sometimes the sports takes can be way too divisive. I agree with him there. He's right that there's like this weird sort of stan culture that has kind of ruined NBA takes. Now, obviously the ironic part about that is, let's not forget, Kevin Durant had a burner Twitter account at one time where he was shitting on his own teammates on the Thunder. Let's not forget that. He had a burner NBA Twitter account. So he was a part of it. Let's not forget that. But also, Kevin Durant also has a huge, huge, huge group of, if we're just using the term Glazers who follow him around everywhere he goes. Now, there's nothing wrong with like I said earlier, basketball is a huge it's obviously a massive team sport. In a lot of ways, it's one of the greatest team sports and a beautiful team sport because of how much your team matters. But it's very individualistic in the sense that your best player has to be really fucking good. True, but he never went as far as these Nuggets fans, one of them calling a petty, insecure little bitch. All right, that is obviously too far. No Christmas game. Oh, Giannis is mad. He's out of there. But also, yeah, I mean, he's right, but he shouldn't say it. Yeah, there is some hypocritical stuff there. We're all hypocrites, though. I mean, KD's been proven to be petty and insecure a few times. It's 5 a.m. in Paris, and he's tweeting. He's definitely petty. We're all petty. Who makes the slightly glazing NBA starting lineup? Luka. There are Luka stands who would disagree with you on that, but I agree with you. SGA, Tobias Harris, LeBron, and Wemby. That's a hell of a team. Tobias Harris. We gotta find a better three. We gotta find a better fifth guy. Franz, easily. Luka, SGA, Franz, LeBron, and Wemby. I can rock with that starting five. Josh Giddey. I'm not a Josh Giddey Glazer. I'm not. I think that trade's gonna be better, and I want to be on the right side of history. Bam, of course, Bam. The Giddey quote is bad. I have to wait 4 years. That's bad. That's just. You're more of a Tobias defender rather than Glazer. I agree. I agree with that one. More of a Tobias defender. I would say I'm more of a LeBron. Am I really a LeBron Glazer? Well, After today, after today, there's gonna be no denying that. Well, the quote's bad. I have to wait 4 more years for the Olympics is not a bad quote in and of itself. In fact, it was a pretty emotional interview. It's just given the allegations against Josh Giddey that makes that quote fairly funny to use. Some people say calling him the GOAT is glazing, so I don't know. Well, listen, I'm telling you right now, LeBron James is the GOAT. He's the greatest basketball player to ever fucking live. Okay? I'm here to say once and for all, and not once and for all, because I've said it a million times, LeBron James is the greatest of all time. He's the greatest basketball player ever. I will never be swayed on this. He's the GOAT. And my big MJ's the GOAT. He's not the GOAT. Well, Dirk is my greatest of all time. There's no like actual basketball argument for Dirk over LeBron James. A big reason for that, I grew up with LeBron James, man. I didn't watch MJ. Okay, I didn't watch him. I didn't watch Bill Russell. I didn't watch Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I watched LeBron James. I had a LeBron James Cleveland Cavaliers jersey in 2004. I bought it at a Nike outlet in San Antonio. Okay? He is the GOAT. Damn you old. Fuck you. Triple-double. Huge triple-double. Huge plays down the stretch of this game against France. It had all of us wondering and all of us thinking, it is an election year in the United States. It did have all of us pondering that is there a scenario in which LeBron James becomes the next president of the United States of America? It's my turn now. Ladies and gentlemen, we're hearing live breaking news that LeBron James might be considering a run in the 2024 presidential election. What? Let's talk about it and let's discuss it. LeBron James' path to the presidency, presented by Slightly Biased here. What would have to happen? I mapped out a whole scenario. I'm not pushing 40. I'm not pushing 40. We mapped it out. We have an electoral college map. I mean, we have it all planned out. So what would have to happen? Kamala Harris, Tim Walz. Tim Walz is a sports guy. We know this. Goes to Kamala and says, listen, did you just fucking see what LeBron James did to beat Serbia? Serbia, who, by the way, we used to be enemies. The USSR, I mean, a whole thing. Did you see what he did to those communists? Now, I'm just saying what they're saying. This is not me. I'm saying what they're saying. Did you see what they did to those communists? We need to take a step back here. We need to let LeBron James run for presidency. Kamala agrees. They back out. Historic. LeBron James has been announced as the next candidate for the DNC. Now I get a phone call. Right? I'm in my war room. I'm preparing so many different things. I have so many different things going on. I get a phone call. Bring, bring. Hello, this is LeBron James. How would you like to be the running mate for me? I simply can't do it, right? I can't. I believe you have to be 35 years old to be vice president. Trust me, I'm not even close to 35 years old. So maybe in like 7, 8, 9 years, we could revisit this. But for the time being, I'm not close to being old enough. I mean, that's the deciding factor, guys. I'm not close to being old enough. So you're going to have to find somebody else. LeBron says, okay, my bad. Judging by your chat, I thought you were in your 40s. No, I'm not even close to my 40s, LeBron. Again, revisit me in 7, 8, 9 years. Okay? So let's map this out. How does LeBron become president of the United States of America? Here's the Electoral College map, guys. You need 270 to win. All right, if you're not American, you're probably looking at this. What in the hell is going on? We'll explain it as it goes. Each state you see here, the number, that's the electoral votes that they have. So When you win a state, you get that number. You got to get 270 to win the election. Let's get LeBron to 270. We'll start with these states. Ohio, big battleground state in the election. LeBron obviously winning Ohio. That's big. 217 votes just right there. Now, Florida's a big one. Florida is a big one. Now, I thought about it. Was there maybe some bad blood? There obviously was some bad blood with how he left in Miami, right? How he left Miami. Let's not forget the Pat Riley comments, basically calling him a loser. However, let me say this. He brought them 2 rings, 4 trips to the NBA Finals. They're not getting those 2 rings without LeBron James. And let's not forget Wade County. They love Dwayne Wade. He's a hero. He's a hero in Miami, a hero in Florida. He's going to vouch for his boy. LeBron wins Florida. I mean, that's a huge win for Bron. That's a huge win for Bron. LeBron obviously wins California, a legend in Lakerland. That's huge. I mean, right off the bat, you get 47 votes. 47 swing state votes. I mean, that's huge, folks. That's huge. Now let's map out these states are not voting for LeBron James for obvious reasons. I don't need to go into why that is, but just use your brain. I won't say anything else. Obviously, you have Alabama, you have Mississippi, you have Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, South Carolina, Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska, the Dakotas, Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, Utah. I don't need to get into why. Now let's get into the states that they would win regardless. All right, all of these. Now Washington picks LeBron because the NBA's obsession with giving LeBron a expansion team in Las Vegas likely means that Seattle's also getting an expansion team. So boom, Seattle has basketball again. London with the 199, slightly skinny legend gives 77 some tips, big bro. No tips, only steroids. No tips, only steroids. All of these states, they're usually blue. We'll leave them blue. No real reasons there. Now let's get into some of the states that LeBron's going to have to win. Georgia, big state in the 2020 election. Could LeBron win it? There's some history here. Let's not forget that he defended Trae Young, one of the very few to defend Trae Young. Trae's averaging 27 points per game and 10.7 assists per game in the league. I don't think you fully understand how great basketball you have to be to put up those numbers as a 6'1" point guard. And he can't sniff the All-Star game? Why does Trae Young continue to be disrespected? LeBron James replies to this. Agreed. I'm not quite understanding this because it can't be about W's and L's because Cats have definitely gotten in with way nastier records in the past. He be cooking every night. Stop it. He's an all-star for sure. Something is real fishy. This was this was the era where LeBron loved the fishy, the fish emoji into a hyphenated E, which led to the fishy. I mean, just LeDad, obviously. Wine Mom tweets, yes. We know LeBron is a wino. That gets him points. Now, I tried to swing Georgia in favor of LeBron, but we just cannot forget what LeBron James did as a member of the Cleveland Cavaliers to these Atlanta Hawks teams. I'm talking, of course, about this 2015 Hawks team where all 5 of them won Player of the Month. They had a 16, 17 game winning streak. Were they a 60-win team? I mean, it was insane what they were doing. 4 of them made the All-Star game, and LeBron absolutely demolished them in the playoffs. A incredibly convincing 4-0 sweep. Unfortunately, LeBron loses Georgia. That's a big swing state. It's a big swing state for LeBron to lose. LeBron James, not very smart. They're saying he's the least smart person ever. I agree. I can't do a Trump voice. The cadence I have down. I never liked him. He's a bad guy, bad dude. I love Michael. Great guy. So great. LeChina. I call him LeChina. That's what I call him. China. Not good. North Carolina, you're losing that one. You're losing that one. It's a big loss. You're losing it. We know why. They can't bring themselves to vote for LeBron James for obvious reasons because Michael Jordan went to UNC. You're not winning North Carolina. It's a big loss. I'm not talking about Jonathan Kuminga. You're losing Illinois as well. Chicago just can't muster it up to vote for you because of if LeBron wins presidency, what does that do for the GOAT debate? It deadens it. There's no GOAT debate any longer. How could you possibly argue in favor of Michael Jordan when LeBron James is the president of the United States? He loses Illinois. That's a big loss. That's a big loss for LeBron. We're really now starting to lose some states that you typically hope you win. Virginia, a big battleground state, a big swing state. LeBron's going to pull Virginia out of his ass. And let me explain why. Virginia, North Carolina, a bit of a rivalry there. Let's get in. Let's shit on UNC a little bit. It'll be a little bit fun, a little bit of a win for us. LeBron once said he wanted to play at Cincinnati under Bob Huggins. Now you're probably wondering, what the hell does this have to do with Virginia? Bob Huggins, longtime head coach at West Virginia, a legend in the state of West Virginia. This is beautiful campaigning right here by LeBron James. Beautiful campaigning. Great job. This swings. This gets him the Virginia vote. Not only that, he swings West Virginia. What a moment in this election. LeBron James has swung West Virginia. A huge win for the LeBron candidacy. How can LeBron build on this momentum? Pennsylvania, one of the biggest battleground states there is. This in a lot of ways will swing where this election goes. And LeBron has just been campaigning, folks. This is great campaigning right here. LeBron's actually taken a huge page out of American politicians, the American politicians books. That's ongoing rumors. We've heard this for a long time. LeBron might want to go to Philly. You promise, but you don't deliver. You promise, but you don't deliver. But the promise is enough to string you along. So great job by LeBron here. LeBron James rooting for Pittsburgh Catholic school in NCAA tournament. That was Duquesne. I don't know how the fuck you pronounce it. Duquesne, because he's friends with the head coach, Duquesne. And also, LeBron James is a member of Fenway ownership group who does own a stake of the Pittsburgh Penguins. So he is actually, Duquesne, okay. So he is actually a part owner of the Pittsburgh Penguins. LeBron wins Pennsylvania easily. And that's a big one, folks. That's a big one for LeBron. New York. Now, New York typically is one that they should win, but there's some bad blood there. Obviously, the basketball rivalry. How can LeBron win New York, right? How can LeBron win New York? I think it's actually quite easy. Carmelo Anthony comes out and he says, guys, vote for LeBron James. I love him. It's my brother. The banana boat. Obviously, Carmelo wasn't on the banana boat, but he was part of that quad group, those four. He was part of those four. Carmelo, LeBron, obviously. Now, hold on a second. Did I skip a slide? Let's go back. Okay, I did. Well, let's talk about these states right here. So I didn't include Texas, Louisiana, and Oklahoma City in the initial Deep South. Texas, he does not win. I think there's just, obviously for Mavericks fans, it's a little bit of a complicated relationship. 2011, he made fun of Dirk. I don't think he gets past that in this election. I don't think Texas voters will be able to forgive him for that, although Dirk went on to have a magical moment, historic moment. They won the finals. They won the series. And there's always been this sort of, could LeBron come to Dallas? Come on, LeBron, put your Maverick jersey on. Right? So the relationship, I think, has been ironed out. Obviously, the battles that those Heat teams had with the Spurs in the finals, the Ray Allen shot, them going on to win that series, just heartbreak for San Antonio. Although they got their get back the next year. And the Rockets, is there much beef? I'm trying to think of LeBron versus the Rockets, and nothing's really coming to my brain. So Texas, there's a bit of it's just not enough. The Dallas voters can't quite forgive the mockery. And on top of that, Dallas, the association that LeBron James has with Dwayne Wade, the Dallas area voters, and that's a huge population center, folks. We're talking 7, 8, 9 million people. They just cannot look past the association with Dwayne Wade. It's just, they can't do it. So you're going to lose Texas because of that. Now Louisiana, folks, it's a similar situation to here in Dallas, Texas. It's a similar situation. The association with Anthony Davis, who left the Pelicans on bad terms, they're fed up with him. It's just too much to overlook for the voters in Louisiana. They are not voting for LeBron James. Let's also not forget his close association with Chris Paul. I can't quite remember if it was bad blood between Chris Paul and that organization, but it was just a weird ending there. Can't look past that. In Oklahoma City right here, they're not voting for LeBron James because they're Oklahoma. Okay, I don't need to explain for that. I don't need to explain much. Two Grapes, I have to commend you. I have to commend Two Grapes in here. He's just having an ongoing conversation with himself about Jonathan Kuminga. It's never been, I think, even acknowledged by anybody. I respect it. All right, let's get back to where we were. New York goes LeBron. Is this where we were? Now, you might notice something here. Massachusetts this whole time has been LeBron. They are no longer. He's going to have to win that vote somehow. Too much bad blood there. Now, you need 270 to win. You might notice LeBron's at 270. We're getting close. Nevada. This one's easy right here. There's a lot of talk, a lot of expectations across the league. The moment LeBron James retires, they're going to expand the league. Vegas is going to get a team. LeBron James is going to be the owner. Boom. Easy. LeBron James wins Nevada. Not even close. Arizona. A big state in the 2020 election. Typically not in favor. Not in favor of the Democratic ticket. But 2020 was a big moment. LeBron's agent squashes Suns rumors. Bronny James rumors. Suns still interested in LeBron's son ahead of 2024 NBA draft. This was great campaigning by LeBron. Again, I said this. I mentioned this when we talked about Pennsylvania. This is great campaigning by LeBron James. How do we promise something but not deliver? How can we promise but not deliver? The Arizona voters, they're too smart for that. They see what's going on here. They're not falling for it. They know that they were a leverage play the entire time. They lose. LeBron loses Arizona. That's a big one. That's a big one. Trump, we're winning in the polls by a lot. They're saying it's the most they've ever seen. Biggest lead they've seen. Wow. Trump's up 3-1. Actually, not really. LeBron's in a great position here. LeBron is in a great position. Okay, I apologize to Two Grapes. Two Grapes and Left Shift are having an argument. I did not see Left Shift's part of it. Colorado. Now, Colorado, this feels like an easy slam dunk win. This feels like an easy slam dunk win for Colorado. LeBron right on the precipice of becoming president. However, a late campaign slip up, a horrible miscalculation by LeBron James late in the campaign has swung Colorado because he went out and scored a triple-double against Serbia when Serbia had a chance to upset Team USA in one of the craziest upsets of all time and head to the gold medal game. LeBron James, captain of Team USA, LeCaptian, many are calling him, put up a triple-double, and LeBron loses. LeBron loses Colorado. This is a big moment in this election, folks, because this one is usually a lock, and now you lose it. This is going to get close, folks. There's a lot of states that LeBron has to do a lot of work in. They have a comfortable lead right now, according to the votes. But don't look at that, folks, because these states right here are going to swing this election. How can LeBron James do it? How can LeBron James do it? Minnesota. Minnesota! Big state. You got to win it. I think LeBron, again, just incredible campaigning. Incredible campaigning here by LeBron James, hyping up Anthony Edwards. Ant-Man cooking that boy. He's got a good relationship with Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is, a huge player in Minnesota. Everyone loves him. You want to be on good terms with Anthony Edwards. LeBron James also randomly shows up to a Minnesota school. Rochester school, surprised by LeBron James' visit. It was super surreal. Just incredible campaigning by Le President. He wins Minnesota. 262, folks. You need 270 to win. All LeBron has to do is win one more state that's not Iowa. Win Wisconsin. Win Michigan. Win Indiana. win Massachusetts. LeBron's the president, but you might be thinking, how the fuck's he going to win these? Wisconsin. Big state in the 2016 election. Now, I want you to look at something here. LeBron James' career record versus every team. I mean, he shits on a lot of teams. He's 43-18 against the Bucks. I believe I saw that he's averaged 30 points a game over the last 10 games he's played against Milwaukee. It's been a pretty great campaign by LeBron so far. He's just too good. He's too good sometimes. He is the greatest of all time. He's going to lose Wisconsin because of his dominance over the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, this is a big one, guys. This is a big one because you might be looking, he also loses Iowa. Why? I don't know. This is a big one, guys. His back is up against the wall here now. It might seem like he has a comfortable lead, but he has to win one more state, and it's going to be tough. Michigan. How could Detroit, in good faith, how could Michigan pick him? Let's not forget LeBron's Game 5 performance against the Detroit Pistons back in 2007. 48 points, 25 straight points. He scored 29 of the Cleveland Cavaliers' last 30 points. Game winner in second overtime. NBA Finals. Beat the Detroit Pistons, who were favorites in that series, to head to his first NBA Finals, where he did get swept by the San Antonio Spurs. But an incredible performance nonetheless. You're right, Michigan does hate Ohio State, where LeBron, who previously, and this is another great election moment from LeBron James, lying. We all know LeBron James would have gone to Ohio State had he had to go to college, but he strings you along. He did say, I would have gone to Cincinnati to play for Bob Huggins. That's not fucking true. We know that's not true, right? So just, again, great campaigning by LeBron. He does lose Michigan. And it is now dire straits for LeBron. He has to win over the Boston voters. He has to win over Indiana, or else he will lose his selection. What do we do, guys? What do we do? Wait a second. This can't be true. There's no way. I can't believe what I just heard. LeBron James has made his vice president pick, and you won't believe it. It's Larry Bird. Larry Bird has been selected by LeBron James to be his VP on the ticket. This is a huge turn of events in this election, folks. It looked like LeBron James was going to lose it. It looked like LeBron James is going to lose a 3-1 lead, but he has selected Larry Bird as his vice president. Unbelievable, folks. Unbelievable. I tell people, quit whining about LeBron. Enjoy him while he's here. He's unbelievable. To me, he's one of the greatest, if not the greatest ever. You don't understand, son. Them guys playing with LeBron James look a whole lot better than what they really are. I can't believe this. LeBron swings the Celtics fans head to the polls by the thousands. Indiana, legend, Larry Legend of Indiana State fame. What an unbelievable performance by LeBron James, who wins the election. 284 electoral votes for LeBron James. He is the next president of the United States, ladies and gentlemen, and that's how it happened. What an unbelievable election. What an unbelievable election, man. Michael Jordan is storming the Capitol? No. Michael Jordan has stormed the Capitol. Unbelievable. Wow. What a day for this country. What an incredible moment in this country's history. Inauguration. January 23rd. Oh, shit. Not January 23rd. Unbelievable. Now, in this world, would LeBron James still be able to play in the NBA? Now, obviously, you wouldn't want that, but is there something against it? Jeffrey Jordan has sent a slate of false electors. This election is just, you can't, a lot of China. First ever player president in the history of the league. Wow. Oh, he plays for the Wizards. I like that. That's how he easily wins the DC vote. If you vote for me, I will play on the Washington Wizards. Unbelievable. Shams called it too early? Oh, shit. My fellow Americans. What an incredible election, man. I mean, Larry Legend popping out like that. How much time did you spend coming up with this? Surprisingly, 30 minutes. Surprisingly, 30 minutes to an hour. Why won't you join Players' Choice? I've never been approached by Players' Choice. They can invite me all they want. They can hit me up. Can't believe the Suns got Tyus Jones. I know. LeBron definitely released President's jerseys too. That would be fire. LeBron James. Wow, would you look at this timing? LeBron James could potentially become an owner of the Celtics in the future. Boston Red Sox owner, Fenway Sports Group. This is what I was just talking about. You hit them up, you have more motion than all of them? I don't. Okay. Would be the best team names for the Las Vegas and Seattle expansion teams? I mean, you have to go to the Sonics, right, for Seattle. Vegas. All right. I got to put an end to this shit. FIBA experts vote on Olympic MVP. How could it be Jokic, bro? How? I'm sorry. He was not good in that game yesterday. He just wasn't. It's the president, man. It's the president. His glorp was crazy. I didn't even think about his glorp. I don't know. It's hard not to do a Vegas team without incorporating gambling into the name. I'm really bad with team names. Like, really bad. The Vegas Luck. Las Vegas basketball team name ideas. I'm going to look it up online. The Outlaws. The Rattlers. The Vipers. The Vultures. The Venom. Let's see what the NBA subreddit has to say about this. The Strippers. I actually kind of like that in a weird way. All right. Are we going to get a serious answer, guys? The Raptors were so named due to the popularity of the time of Jurassic Park movies. Using this logic, there's only one name that makes sense: the Las Vegas Kins. The Las Vegas Atomic Bombs. That's actually kind of sick if they did it. If they incorporated some type of atomic bomb name. Las Vegas Heat. I like that. Las Vegas Lakers. Named after neighboring Lake Mead. All right, yeah, that's good. The Regrets is pretty funny. The Outlaws, it does kind of go good with the Raiders. Outlaws is kind of sick, actually. The Las Vegas breakfast buffets. Nice. The Vandals. It works on so many levels. Vandals is actually pretty sick. Thinking about it now. The Venom. I don't love the Venom. High Rollers is kind of good, but it doesn't really roll off the tongue. Sin City Marauders? Wait, that's fucking sick. Degenerates? I like that. Aces really is a perfect name. Las Vegas DraftKings. Oh. Do you think it's possible that DraftKings has approached Sacramento at some point in time and was like, "Hey, how much we got to pay you to sneak draft into your name?" Sin City Vandals. That Sin City Vandals is good. The Wise Guys. Vandals is good. The Marauders is sick. Marauders is just a cool fucking word. The Midnight Marauders. Marauders might be the coolest word in the English dictionary now. I'm trying to think. Is there a cooler word than Marauders? I really don't think so. I think it's even cooler if you go Las Vegas Marauders. It's still kind of cool. Sin City Marauders is dope. You know, like my Ballers idea, I figured it was simple and worked on so many levels. Las Vegas Ballers. That feels almost too AAU-y, in my opinion. What about just Las Vegas basketball team? Las Vegas Basketball Club. LVBC. Las Vegas Basketball Club. Las Vegas Men's Basketball Team 5. I like that. That's good. It's got a ring to it. It's got a nice ring to it. Well, all right. We've gone. I'm proud of us. We went through everything that we had to go through. I think I did clip 3 of those segments, and I think that helped me stay on track and not get too off track. Cowboys rant. All right, we can go on a quick Cowboys rant. Where will I be able to find those clips? The Slightly Biased Clips channel. Slightly Biased Clips channel. Good stream despite the Jokic slander. Thank you. All right, we can end on a quick little Dallas Cowboys rant. I don't have a lot to say on the matter, but I do have some things to say on the matter. So, look. Full disclosure here. I've not really followed NFL offseason at all. And if you've known me, you know that I haven't really followed the NFL really over the past couple of years, which is a shame because you guys know me as a big basketball fan. You guys know me as a huge Mavericks fan as well. I am also, or I used to be, as big, if not maybe even a bigger Dallas Cowboys fan. I mean, I was so invested, so into it. This channel, believe it or not, started out as an NFL channel. I have delisted all of the old videos on this channel because I did not give a shit about copyright at the time. I do care about it now, and there was just copyright stuff all over the place, and I had videos that had like 12 different copyright claims, so I just decided it was time to remove those. But just for context, I think it was 3 years ago. I mean, I think I had probably less than 1,000 subscribers. I was streaming Mavs games at the time. But the NFL draft was the same night as a Mavs game, and I streamed the NFL draft instead. Just to show you guys how much I used to be invested into this shit. I would never in a million years think about doing that now. And I'm just saying that because I haven't really been following. I only started recently doing fantasy football research over the past week, and I learned that Tony Pollard wasn't even on the Cowboys anymore. I knew Zeke was here, but I thought Zeke was brought back to back up Tony Pollard. I had no idea Tony Pollard was gone. I didn't know Tyron Smith was gone. I didn't know any of this shit until just now. So I'm not like... I openly admit I don't follow anymore. And why don't I follow anymore? This old... Let me calm down. This old piece of shit. This old man. Okay? The depression. And is there actually a Woj? Is this a serious Woj bomb or a fake Woj bomb? A Woj tactical airstrike? Shit. It's my turn now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a Woj bomb. A Adrian Wojnarowski bomb. Free agent Svi Mihailuk has agreed to a 4-year, 15. Don't ever tell me Woj bomb again. All right, let's continue with this. The feeling I have towards the Dallas Cowboys now, it's apathetic. It's the worst type of feeling you can have. I don't care what they do. It doesn't matter to me anymore. I feel nothing. I feel nothing towards them. I don't feel excitement. Definitely don't feel excitement. I don't feel any anticipation for anything. I don't feel good. I don't feel happy about them. I don't feel sad. I don't feel disappointed. I don't feel angry. I don't feel anything. There's nothing. There is nothing to feel about the Dallas Cowboys anymore. Apathy is worse than death. Yes, it's the worst feeling you can have about anything. I just don't care. I don't care anymore. And what's sad about it is they've actually, not only did Jerry Jones and his cronies and the Dallas Cowboys franchise suck my enjoyment of the Dallas Cowboys out of me, they also sucked me dry when it comes to the NFL. I don't care about the NFL anymore, and I think a big reason for that is the Dallas Cowboys. If the Dallas Cowboys were good in winning, then different story. I don't even know what this channel would look like. Honestly, who knows the path I take? But here's the thing, man. It's hard. And a part of the reason why it sucks so much is it's like, they're good. They have a good team. They're good every year. They win 10 games. They win 11 games. They win 12 games. They make the fucking playoffs. You don't go into the year thinking they're going to win 8 games, 7 games. So it's like a feel-good moment when they make the playoffs. And they lost in the playoffs and whatever. They lost in the playoffs. But man, that was a fun regular season. We didn't expect to be here. We didn't expect to make the playoffs. So it just feels good to be here. They're good every single year. And then they go to the playoffs and they shit themselves in embarrassing fashion and piss in their pants and lose. Usually in the first round. Guys, they haven't made it to the NFC Championship game in 30 years. Do you realize how difficult that is? If you don't follow the NFL, that's basically the conference finals. It's the conference finals. Do you understand how difficult that is? To just not fall ass backwards into the conference final at some point. The Jacksonville fucking Jaguars did it. I think the Cowboys are one of like 3 or 4 teams to have not done it since the 90s. I think it's Washington, who's a joke. I believe Cleveland. And it used to be Detroit, but Detroit did it last year. I can't think of another one. The Panthers made the Super Bowl. The Cardinals had made the Super Bowl. A Sacramento Kings level drought. The Sacramento Kings made the conference finals more recently than the Cowboys. The Raiders made the Super Bowl since then. Miami, okay, great. You see where they're at. Miami, who's good now but has been shit forever. Washington, who's been a joke forever, and then the Cleveland, who's been terrible and a laughingstock forever, and then the Dallas Cowboys are right there too. Who, guess what? They're just as equally a laughingstock as those other teams. They're embarrassing. And then you have this grandpa who comes out every fucking offseason and says, guys, we're all in this year. We're going to do it. What was their all-in move this year? Bringing back the corpse of Ezekiel Elliott. And then you have the Dallas Cowboys beat reporters who go around and say, actually, this undrafted rookie is going to be really good. You guys look out for this undrafted rookie. Man, we don't give a shit. Go make the fucking conference championship game. We don't care. We don't care what you do. We don't care how many games you win during the regular season. We don't care how many touchdown passes Dak Prescott threw. We don't care how many yards Dak Prescott threw. We don't care where Dak Prescott finished in MVP voting. We don't care that you brought back Ezekiel Elliott. We don't care that this guy's done this and look at our great draft, the gems that we found in the draft. We don't care. Make it to the conference championship game or we don't care. That's it. How do you not fall ass backwards into it? How do you go 30 years? And what's crazy is the other teams we talk about, the Cleveland Browns, they've been shit. They've been terrible. The Dolphins, by and large, have been shit. The Washington football team, by and large, they've been shit. The Cowboys have been good. They've been good. How do you not just luck into one? How do you not just accidentally make it? How do you not just... The first team we played, they were lucky to make the playoffs. The second team we played, their quarterback got hurt. We just got so lucky. How do you... Because you're cursed. Because of this man right here. This fucking guy. And what's insane is it's... Ask any Dallas Cowboys fan. And I mean like actual Dallas Cowboys fans. Ask any of them going into the playoffs if they think they're going to win. Ask any of them. Crazy how good Dallas sports have been. The Mavs, Rangers, and Stars have all been in the conference finals or better. And then there's Cowboys. I'll even take it a step further. Since 2020, they all have. In the last 4 years. Not 30. In the last 4 years, the Dallas Stars have made the Stanley Cup. They've all been to the finals in the last 4 years. The Dallas Stars have made the Stanley Cup final. The Texas Rangers obviously won the World Series. The Dallas Mavericks made the NBA Finals. I believe in 2020, I believe FC Dallas made the championship game. I could be wrong there. I know they had a deep playoff run. The Dallas Wings made the conference championship game a couple years ago. The Arlington Renegades won the fucking XFL. Am I missing a team? Am I missing any team? How do you not just luck into it? What would be your solution? Jerry Jones, goodbye, out. The Jones family is gone. We are completely restructuring everything. The Jones dynasty has ended. The core is rotten. You'd have to clean house, but that would be removing each and every Jones from their decision-making team. Yeah. It has to be it has to be a curse thing because the Dallas Fuel, I don't even know who that is. Who is that? Oh, wait. What is it? What is this from?
But at the same time, from a defensive standpoint, it's not like you can let them score.
First and goal. Please run. I mean, if we're not running here, then what are we doing? If we're not running here, then what the hell is going on? Who won this? Didn't the Cowboys win? Coop! Yes! Wow, look at the excitement. Look at how happy I was. Look how fat I was. Look at how happy I was, man. It actually saddens me, man. I do remember it was the Cooper Rush Halloween game, yes. It saddens me, man. It saddens me in a lot of ways. The iconic glasses. These were my glasses for the past year. I think each year we might need to cycle them out. So I'm gonna be on the lookout for a new pair. No way you were like 19 with that big ass beard. What was that, 3 years ago? I definitely wasn't 19. And actually, you want to know what's funny? It's ironic that was a Amari Cooper related video. That was it. That was actually it for me. That was a line in the sand moment when they traded away Amari Cooper for nothing. 3 years ago, 37. What would need to happen for your Cowboys fandom to revive? Look, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be a fair weather fan. I don't give a fuck. They make the conference finals, I'm in. They make the conference championship game, I'm back in. I am back in. That's it. I can't. I'm not getting my hopes up. My entire week is dedicated to the Dallas Cowboys. Whatever they do on Sunday is going to dictate how I feel throughout the rest of the week. That shit's over and done with, man. I'll watch them. I'll put them on the TV. If they lose, it doesn't mean anything to me. If they win, it also doesn't mean anything to me until they win and make it to a conference championship game. That's it. Can you give me an NBA comparison of trading away Amari Cooper? Well, let me just say Amari Cooper was my favorite Dallas Cowboy. I have an Amari Cooper jersey. I have a signed Amari Cooper jersey. I loved him to death. He was my favorite player when he was here. They traded him for dirt. So they could bring back a guy who just tore his ACL and just retired. He just fucking retired. At like 28 years old. He just retired. And Amari was one of the best. I mean, NFL trades are weird. You can't really do a direct comparison to the NBA because if an Amari Cooper level player in the NBA got traded, it would be like a Mikal Bridges trade. You'd get 5 first-round picks. But think about, I'm just trying to think from a Mavericks perspective. There's not really a great comparison. It would be like trading away Derek Lively for pennies for me. Like, great player who I've grown very attached to and is one of my favorite players now. 28 is old slightly. 28's not old. Don't say that. Per Yahoo on Amari Cooper trade, the Cleveland Browns sent the incredibly low price of a 5th-round draft pick and a 6th-round pick spot for Cooper prior to the 2022 regular season. 5th-round fucking pick, guys. And they are and by the way, the Dallas Cowboys are the richest team in all of sports. Not American sports. All of sports. There's no end. Why would there be an end? 5th is basically a 2nd-round pick. It's like the equivalent of a pick in the 40s, I would say. You can maybe get a pretty good player there, but chances are you're not going to get a good player, but you could get a good player. It just saddens me, man. And now, by the way, I didn't even say why this has all started. CeeDee Lamb. So the Cowboys operate like this. They don't do shit in free agency. It's the opposite of what the Dallas Mavericks have going on, or what the Dallas Mavericks used to have going on, where the Dallas Mavericks, they wanted so desperately to do shit in free agency, but nobody wanted to go there. It's the complete opposite here. I guarantee you pretty much any free agent's like, I want to go play for the Cowboys. I want to go play in Dallas. I want to go play for them. And the Cowboys are like, nah. Nah, we don't want to make any moves whatsoever that improves our roster in any real significant way. We like our guys, man. We like our guys, and we want to pay our guys. We don't want to sign any big free agents because we want to have enough money to sign our guys. Well, guess what? Now you need to pay CeeDee Lamb, and they're not fucking doing it. They're not paying CeeDee Lamb. And now CeeDee Lamb's pissed. They're pissed off at Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott's pissed off. Fraudulent slip there. Dak Prescott's picked off. Whoops. Micah Parsons retweeted this tweet. Yeah, Derrick Henry openly said that he wanted to play for the Dallas Cowboys. Derrick Henry's getting old, but he's still good. They said, no. We'd rather bring back Ezekiel Elliott. Remember him? Wasn't he good 8 years ago? Yeah, he was pretty good 8 years ago. Is he good now? No, he's now shit. How is Ezekiel Elliott your starting running back what happened there? How is he your starting running back in 2024? Their running back options are Ezekiel Elliott, who in football years is 65 years old, and fucking a 4'8" guy. Deuce Vaughn is 4'8". This is unbelievable. You want to know something? Me and one of my friends, we have a long-standing conspiracy theory here. Whoops. We have a long-standing conspiracy theory here that they're actually trying to sabotage Dak Prescott. They have no desire to pay Dak Prescott $60 million or whatever the fuck he's going to want. and they're openly trying to sabotage him by making the team bad, so they can finally have a bad season and justify not bringing him back. That's an ongoing conspiracy theory that I have with a friend, and it makes kind of some sense when you look into it. It was such a fun feel good stream, and then and you want to know what's sad? I'm feeling I have some feelings in my stomach for the NFL coming back. Like there's some excitement there. Now, I know nothing about it. Again, I'm doing my fantasy football research. And I'm learning like I'll hear like, fuck, what's his name? Calvin Ridley on the Titans, right? Is Calvin Ridley on the Titans? What team is Calvin Ridley on now? The Panthers? The Titans? I was like, oh, that's news to me. That is news to me. I was watching Love Island, and Odell Beckham was like, you need to come to a game in Miami. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. It's the first I've heard of that. I just wish there was more actual playing time in the NFL. Yes, and here's the thing. Like, whenever we get close to the... whenever we get close to the NFL season starting, I start to get pretty excited. Really, the reason why I'm excited is because of the fall. Like, I'm excited about... Wait, what is this? I'm excited about the fall season being here. The summary of By Slightly Chat today, LMAO, no, ladies and gentlemen, this is not out of context. It's exactly what we were talking about. Viewers in the chat are discussing potential 2028 presidential candidates, including LeBron James. Some viewers believe it's possible considering the current political climate, while others disagree. Oh, shit. That's hilarious. Years ago. Is he good now? No, he's now shit. How is Ezekiel Elliott your starting running back what happened there? I don't know. How is he your starting running back in 2024? I just said the same thing. The running back options are Ezekiel Elliott, who in football years is 65 years old, and fucking a 4'8" guy. Deuce Vaughn is 4'8". Yeah, he was pretty good 8 years ago. Is he good now? No, he's now shit. Highly excited for football? You expect me to believe you aren't a boomer? Oh, man. All right, real quick, before we end the stream. This was a fun stream. I've done this a million times. I want to see real quick here. I want to go back to my NFL predictions from a year ago because we're going to do them soon. We'll do them again soon. And I'm going to do some research. Here's the thing. I like being right more than anything. So I will do some research to ensure I'm as correct as possible when it comes to this. Maybe I think we tried doing weekly picks early, and then it just flamed out. Random thought, Japan's basketball team got a 5'7" Nawamura, who played great too. He's an Exhibit 10 contract with the Memphis Grizzlies. I had the Jets going 10-7. What did they go? 7-10. Flip that, and I'm right. So pretty close. Bills 10-7. They went 11-6. I count that as a win. Dolphins 9-8. They went 11-6. Close enough. Patriots 7-10. They went 4-13 and finished last. That's really good. I say that was good by me. AFC North. I had the Bengals winning the division. They finished last. Doesn't count for numerous reasons. So throw that one out. Ravens 10-7. They were good. Got that one right. Steelers 9-8. They went 10-7. And finished third. I would say this one was pretty good. AFC South. I had the Titans winning the division. They finished dead last. Now, that's not necessarily fair to me. Because for a multitude of different reasons. So just throw that one out. Jaguars finishing second, 9-8, and they went 9-8. Perfect. Texas, I had going 5-12, and they went 10-7 and won the division. What went wrong here? I think this was a typo, so throw that one out. Colts 4-13, they went 9-8. Whatever, that's about right. AFC West, I had the Chiefs going 15-2. They went 11-6, so not as dominant, but they ended up winning the Super Bowl, so I was right. Chargers 9-8, they were dead last at 5-12. Damn. The hell happened to them last year? Who could have expected that? Throw that one out. I had the Broncos going 8-9. They exactly went 8-9. Raiders 4-13, 8-9. Pretty good. NFC North, and this is where I'm gonna beat my chest like King Kong. I predicted the Packers being good, and they were. Now, the Lions was an oversight. Some weird miscommunication before the season. I had inside sources that were wrong about certain things, so throw that one out. Not my fault. Vikings at 9-8. I thought they weren't going to be very good, and they weren't, so I'm right there. NFC South. Wow. Hold on a second. This is actually crazy. I had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning the NFC South with a losing record, and that was almost true. They won it going 9-8. Falcons 7-10. That's what they win. Saints 7-10. 9-8. Close enough. Panthers 4-13. They won 2 games. My God. Holy shit. Oh my God. Okay. I had the 49ers 13-4. Good. Seahawks 10-7. Okay. Rams 5-12. Just flipped those and we're close. I had the Cardinals going 0-17. Oh, I had the Cardinals going 0-17. They did win 4 games. And the NFC East, I had the Cowboys winning it. That happened. Had the Eagles finishing 11-6. That happened. Had the Giants making the playoffs. Okay. What the fuck happened there? In the Commandos going 8-9, and they went 4-13. And I had the Cowboys making the playoffs, or the Super Bowl. Okay. With Micah Parsons winning MVP. What the hell? Was I all right? The hell happened there?
Do is shoot for 3.
Let's see if he looks down. There it is.
You guys got to understand the pressure on a creator in the month of August when nothing's happening. That's why I'm the best in the industry. All right, that's it. I did not expect this stream to be this long today. If you missed out on anything, of course, you can always rewatch these streams. I will be live on Playback tomorrow for the gold medal game. Yes, playback.tv/slightlybiased. I will be live. Thank you all for coming out. All of the OGs, you guys know I love you very much. Chris Finger, Friday afternoon, anywhere in the world you decided to watch it here. New subscribers, I promise you guys will not regret it. Donations, members, thank you guys so much. You never have to do that, but it helps me out tremendously. Makes me feel so good. Where will I be able to watch clips of today's stream? Slightly Biased Clips. We'll be churning out some of the clips from today's stream if you guys missed it. Next video, well, I fucked up because I wanted to do a Franz Wagner video and I was waiting for the right moment because I thought if he had a huge semifinal game, boom, algorithm's hot, and he was not very good, and now I have to wait a tiny bit. So we'll see. We'll start churning out the videos when the Olympics is over. All right. Love you all. You guys enjoy your Friday. Be safe this weekend. We'll see you tomorrow for the gold medal game. Can't wait. Hopefully it's good. I don't think it'll be good, but I hope it is. Love you all. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.